All right. Want to welcome everyone out today. Appreciate everyone being here. We have a full house. For those watching at home, welcome. If there's anybody out there. All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Item number 2, approve minutes of the August 31st, 2020 special meeting. I believe we have a copy of those, right, Mayor?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we approve the minutes as presented.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Motion made by Riff, second by Holmes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 3, approved minutes of September 9th, 2020 special meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the minutes of the September 9th special meeting.
Motion made by Mr. Riff.
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Gray. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 4, petitions from the audience. No petition from the audience. Item number 5, discuss possibly approving Pryor Creek Rec Center Board regular meeting schedule for 2021. And that is on the back page of the September 9th meeting for everyone to review.
I'll make a motion we approve them.
Motion made by Mr. Cantrell,
I'll
Second.
second.
second made by Ms. Kemp. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. There are meeting dates for 2021, ladies and gentlemen. Item 6, discuss and possible action regarding reassigning Debbie Line from Staff Support Range A, Step 3 to Receptionist, Front Desk, Range A. In Houston, we have a problem. Turn off your phone. How appropriate was that? We'll start again. Item 6, discuss and possible action regarding reassigning Debbie Line from Staff Support Range A, Step 3 to Receptionist, Front Desk, Range A, Step 3 at Pryor Rec Center effective September 30th, 2020.
Okay, this is one of those that I actually forgot it last month, but she's just been assigned basically the wrong, I think we brought her in at staff support and she was never given like the front desk title, which is what she does. So it'll just be another one like Chelsea where we're just getting her with the right title, but nothing else will change.
I'll make a motion we approve it.
Motion made by Cantrell, seconded by Holmes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 7, discuss possible recommended council action regarding hiring an aquatics coordinator at Range D, Step 1, annual wage, $32,534.
Okay, this is our last full-time position that was approved with the budget for this year. And we've waited a little bit, mainly so I could kind of get in and we could get everybody put where they are supposed to be and then see where we have a need. And we've tossed around a couple of different ideas. One was to hire someone, maybe a fitness coordinator type, to help in the evenings to kind of get our classes going again. Now that Chelsea's been reassigned a fitness coordinator, she's done that. We have new classes. It's going really well. Attendance is coming back up. So I think that's kind of taking care of that. The other thing about the aquatics, why we put it on hold, is because Brian Moody said you really don't need anyone in there full-time to do maintenance. Well, that's true, but that aquatics position is not just maintaining the pool. That's a big source. Our pool is our biggest source of income and revenue, I feel like, right now. And, well, it's not right now because it's down. But when it opens back up, I feel like we can bring someone in who can, yes, maintain the pool and help us. Like this morning, we come in, the pool temperature's 92, 93. Well, you've got me, Jerome, Chelsea. We're all texting Kim. Like, we need one person's in charge, one person controls it. That way someone's not coming in and doing one thing, the next person comes in and does something else, then Brian comes in and does something else. So it will eliminate that, and we'll have one person in charge. But what I look for this person to also do or be able to provide us is getting our lifeguards trained, getting them hired, and then also getting our parties going again, offering swim lessons during the day, doing events in the pool, whether that's a little kids triathlon or a night swim or whatever that is, anything and everything we can do to bring in some revenue with that position. So that's where I feel like our biggest need is right now, because that pool is a monster. And if we start the process now, then, and everything goes the way it should, and we post an interview and then it goes back to everybody with the recommendation, this person could be hired almost right around the time the pool is reopened or the week after. So it would kind of be perfect timing. So, do you guys have any questions about that? I think there's pretty much always been an aquatics
Yeah, we had
director.
Would they be someone that would do like coordinate the water aerobics and all that too?
I think Chelsea will probably still, I mean, I don't know. We could talk about that. And maybe, maybe consider that being part of theirs. I don't know if that's considered part of the group exercise or if that would be considered
So
aquatic.
they don't necessarily have to be a fitness person. They just
No.
need to learn how to run the pool.
Yes,
It's
preferably
not
have
really-
their pool maintenance, that certification, hopefully a lifeguard certification. Those are the things that we would look for, the pool because if they come in with that, it would be great, because right now we're having trouble getting anyone certified because of COVID. So would hopefully look for someone with those certifications
And then they would be able to just train
yes,
lifeguards.
and we wouldn't have to hire that out or
without
bring
that additional
Red Cross
expense.
in.
Okay.
That's the ultimate goal.
That would be the best scenario.
Nice, yes. It would,
Have an in-house person that could train and
right,
then have individuals that apply for it that don't have credentials, and then she goes and trains them and
right.
saves them money.
Does it that way. Yep.
I said she or he.
He, she, or you. Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we approve it.
All right, motion made by Cantrell,
Second.
second made by Mr. Holmes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 8, discuss possibly recommended council action regarding hiring Kelly Robinson for the custodian maintenance position at Range A, Step 1, annual wage, $27,395.
So this was the position that we posted and did interviews for, and Houston and I both met with Kelly. We've met with him a couple times now. He's wonderful. He's definitely qualified. By far was the most qualified candidate out of everyone that we talked to. And so I think he'll be a great fit for our team. I think he'll also be able to help with not only the custodian part of it, but a big part of the maintenance part, things that need to be fixed that would avoid us having to maybe call other people in and would free Gary up a little bit. I mean, we would still call on Gary as well, but I think he could fit that role really well. And then I think we can also, we talked about utilizing him with some of our senior adults that need to come in and need some direction, and maybe he can help them and would be someone that they could kind of connect with, so.
I'll comment on that as well. So when we interviewed him the first time, it was for the weight room coordinator. And he was certainly well qualified for that position as well. And so was Jesse. And so the determination was made that move Jesse into that position for several reasons. But in that original interview, we kind of looked at each other and said, there's got to be a place for this gentleman somewhere down the road. And ironically, this position became available, and called him back in, and we were just both thrilled at the fact that we got to interview him again, and certainly qualified for this position. So, and he does bring a lot of value in terms of being out on the floor, working with our senior members, and then being able to work with Jesse, and just a really good guy.
Yes.
I'll make that motion.
All right, motion made by Mr. Holmes,
Second.
second by Mr. Cantrell. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 9, discuss possible recommended council action regarding bids received for cleaning of PCRC, Pryor Creek Recreational Center, downspouts and guttering from Rec Center Repair and Maintenance Account 848455091. Bids received: Joel's Plumbing and Drain, $4,200, S&J Plumbing, $4,500, and Casca LLC, $5,010.
So the issue we're having here is these gutters are so full of whatever that the water's not able to drain properly, which is causing more water on the roof, which is definitely nothing that we need right now. So we've called in these 3 to get these bids. Just a little bit to clarify, just a little bit. Joel's and S&J are basically the same bid. They're gonna clean out the downspouts, they're gonna clean out the gutter. That includes all labor, material, and equipment to complete the project. Casca is also including, they're going to snake out the main drain with high-pressure water after it after the gutters come down. That's not included on these other 2. The other 2 bids say that clean out of underground piping would be additional. So that's the only difference. For $500 or a little $800 more, we're gonna get the pipe cleaned out as well. So I don't really have, that's why I'm coming to you all with all these bids tonight, because I'm new at this, one, but second of all, I'm not sure what direction, as a board, we wanna go with the kind of work that we wanna do with these projects, but.
So Casca was additional work for the additional $500?
Yeah, so it's the same as these 2, except they're also including, we will also clean out the main drain lines for the gutters with a drain snake and high-pressure water, which is not included with the other 2.
So there is a justification for the additional $500?
Yes, yes.
Do you think that's something that's necessary? Like,
I think it would be, for that price difference, it'd be different if it was 5,000 more, but for just an extra 500 than S&J or 800 than the other, yes, I think it would be good to go ahead and make sure it's cleared out all the way through the pipe instead of just the gutter, because if the gutters are able to drain and then they hit the pipe and the pipe is clogged, then we're gonna have an issue somewhere else.
So do we have an idea that the drain is clogged as well? Obviously, we know that the downspouts are, but it'd be pretty easy to probably make a determination if we're gonna spend $500 to $800, whether this drain, if you put a hose at it and just said, hey, turn it on, and let's see if it runs, is it draining or not, then we'd have a pretty good idea on that drain line as to whether we had an issue, I would think.
Yeah, I've walked around the building whenever it was raining, and I've witnessed it myself where the actual gutters go into the piping of the ground, and they're just shooting up. I want to say a good 1.5 feet, and then it's actually broke the plastic coverings that actually go from the gutters to the actual drainage itself. And there's been times I've noticed like shards of plastic when I'm doing my trash pickup, and that's exactly what it is. It's just the water pressure where it's not able to flow properly, and then coming from the roof, it's just coming right out right there. And there's several ones around the building that are exactly like that. So if they were washing all the way, I think that they would drain properly. But then those would probably need to be replaced as well.
Of course, it could be an engineering issue from the standpoint of that drain line is not sufficient to handle the flow coming off the building. So we may do this and still have the same problem.
So, where does all of the gutter drain terminate?
There's supposed to be a sewage pipe that they all go into, like the main drain, and then they just exit out to the sewer.
Is there a clean out that you know of?
Not that I know.
Gary kind of headed up all this, so I'm not really sure on that.
And I've just done my walk around. I've went and looked in the actual drainages, and there's, normal debris, whatnot in there, but I can look and see each direction. It's just where the gutters are running off the building. There's white PVC pipe, I want to say about 4 inches in diameter. I have no clue where they go per se, but from coming off the building to where they go into the piping, they're just blasting out of there. And it's actually to the point where you can see,
think that it may be wise to get a determination about the underground piping. Where does it terminate? If it's not the right size, then we can blow out the gutters and blow out the downspouts, but we haven't really accomplished our goal if those pipes are not able to handle the flow. That may be the reason why they're plugged up in the first place. And so I think it would be wise to try to find the plans. If we could delay, if you could table this until we're able to do some more investigation about that, because if it terminates at the pond down there, that may be where it terminates. I don't have any idea, but to find that out and to find out what size piping there may be a clean out and it may be covered up.
Utility department would know. So whoever
If it connects to a sewer line, the utility department.
Yeah, they're gonna be able to know where
We'll have
I
that.
just wonder if it, is this not goes into like a French drain?
It may go into a French drain.
Could you go ahead and clean out the downspouts and the gutters first, and then bring somebody in to assess to see if that eliminates, I mean, I don't know from what he's saying.
Yeah, that needs to be done anyway.
Right, because that needs to be done anyway, and these two bids both address that, which this one does too, but, I
And
think
just-
it's gonna take a separate.
Well, and I was gonna say, can we not go back to the other two companies and say, what would you charge us to do to clean the
can.
main drain?
Yeah.
If we put that part off, then that would give you an opportunity to ask them for their bids on that as well.
I was under the assumption that they wouldn't know until they got in there and started to see, it says, Joel's Plumbing not responsible for any lines unable to clear due to lines being collapsed or damaged underground. So, I mean, there could be other issues, so I don't know that, I don't know how.
and they're not gonna know that until they get
Right.
a snake in there to find
Right.
out if they can clear it with the snake or not. They have a big machine, I know Joel's does, but if it was collapsed or something, they wouldn't know get through it. They'd know pretty quick something was going on right in that area.
Could I ask you something that kind of gets back to the bid here? I noticed that on Joel's, it was 4,200. And then I look over at Casca, and it went up to $5,010. And I think that there was more on,
45 was the other one.
okay. What's the equipment and material costs, and why didn't Joel have the similar amount?
Well, so they all put it in one lump, like they didn't itemize it out for me. But if you look at it, Joel's and S&J are just $300 difference. Whereas the other one is more substantial. I mean, Casca is more substantial because they were gonna do more work. They were gonna go ahead and snake out as well. So these two are only $300 difference. I will say, one of the other items that we're going to talk about tonight includes repair work that wasn't completed the last time we had one company out. Joel's out to do some work. We're still trying to repair some work that was not completed then. S&J, we've had them out twice in the last month for emergency type situations. They were there immediately, and S&J actually found a leak in the wall in the break room that we've been told was a drain for I don't know how many years. And it was actually a slow leak that he said has been leaking for years, and they were able to repair that. That's why the break room floor, I don't know if you've noticed, the tile is all messed up in there from water damage. It's because of that leak in the wall. So S&J found that for us and got it fixed. So,
Here's my thought on it. I mean, it's apparent that we need to clean the downspouts and we need to clean the gutters. That's the reason why we have these bids in front of us. And the unknown question is what does it look like from, we know what it looks like from cradle, but where does it end up in the grave? And so that additional pipe or whatever we have that the water's running into, we don't know for a fact that it's even clogged up. But for an additional $500 while this individuals are on site, wouldn't it be worth just to go ahead and knock it out for $500 to see where we're at? Even if we have a problem there, but if they're gonna run a snake and take the time to clean that out, we'll know then where we stand. Instead of doing another bid and coming back, and it may be more, to have them come back on site from a mobility standpoint than to already have them there and have them do the whole job. Just a
So-
thought.
Yeah.
I would be willing to do, whatever legwork that we could do with construction plans, that we have, or, initiate, talking to municipal utility board and trying to find out where those pipes terminate. If you've got that many downspouts, it's not gonna go into a leach field. It's gonna terminate somewhere. And if it's not flowing, then it's either collapsed or it's full of debris. If it's the right size piping and it's full of debris, then the snaking, that will solve that issue if it has been engineered correctly. And we'll find out where it terminates, and that'll solve the deal. But I'd be willing to do whatever legwork that I can do to try to get that information, at least before Casca, or if we choose to use them, before they started work, so they would kind of know what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, and I mean, like what you're saying, I mean, obviously there's an issue there, it's clogged somewhere. I would lean towards clogged more than collapsed, because there's not a place for heavy equipment and things like that to get through their trees, and I mean,
Right.
it's probably clogged somewhere, that just hadn't been done over the years, that's what I'm leaning towards.
And whenever I was on the road, I made numerous comments about how there's no screens on the gutters for any debris to get in there and just to go down there and clog whatever. So, we have, quite a bit of pigeons around the building, if you guys don't notice, and just nature itself.
And there's trees and, leaves and all.
And that was another quote that Casca included, was to put new screens, but it was another 5,000. So I told him we would do this first.
Goodness. So, discussion, anyone want to make a motion to table? Do we want to make a motion, if we table, to give the mayor an opportunity to get the plans and we revisit this? What do you guys have in mind?
Is your desire to go ahead and get the work done and look at it later?
I mean, it needs to be done, and I don't know if we'll have a bad winter or not, but I mean, I would rather try to knock it out before the weather kind of got crazy. I like his point to, I mean, at least Casca could give us a starting point, because I don't know what to tell, like, we don't know unless we just get in there and see. I know it's a little bit more money, but I feel like we would know after that. And at least, if nothing else, he would at least clean
For an
it up.
additional
We're gonna have to do
$500,
that
we're gonna know what's
Yeah.
wrong, because they're
Right.
actually going through the steps to see what's wrong.
Right.
My point is, if we call them back and say, now I want you to look at this, they may come back and say, oh, okay, I want to charge you $1,000 to go out there and
Yeah.
do all of this stuff. But this gives us a starting point as to where we know. And then if we do run into a problem and the $500 and say, hey, well, this is a real problem, then we have the information the mayor's provided, say, here's the scope of what the project really looks like, and here's where we would now come back and say, hey, we gotta look at this again.
Rebid it.
Well, I'll make a motion to move ahead on it.
Okay.
Okay, so was that with Casca?
If that's who you would
Yes.
prefer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so a motion's been made by Mr. Holmes to accept the bid from Casca LLC. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Cantrell. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. Any opposed? All right, passed. Item number 10, discuss possible recommended council action regarding bids received for the repair of the following group fitness room heat and air duct. Repair door to group fitness room, patch walls and paint in both family restrooms, men's restroom, and pool, and repair water fountain. Funds to come from Rec Center Repair and Maintenance Account 848455091. Bids received. Melton's Air Duct Repair Only, $1,245. Casca LLC, $6,287. And Wiljo Interiors Incorporated, $9,150.
Okay, so these are a lot of the projects that Jerome was kind of working on when I came in, just multiple things that needed to be repaired and fixed around the building. And so he got with Gary about it and decided to kind of just bring in one contractor that it could do as much of it as they could possibly do. And so that's what we have with Casca and with, is it Wiljo? Yes. So their work on what they're doing, one for $62.87, the other for $91.50, it's the exact same job. They're both doing the exact same thing. One is not doing more than the other. It's exactly the same. They're both painting the air duct. Melton's, in their line of work, I mean, all they could do was the air duct. And so they were going to re-insulate it versus painting it. And so that's why their bid is, but of course, it's just one piece of it. But we didn't have a third bid from a contractor that could come in and do the entire project. If you have questions about any of the repairs, Jerome knows what all of them are. I don't know if you've seen like the big crack in the pool and in the restroom, family restroom, they're gonna repair all that. And the water fountain that still has holes around it.
Yeah, it's where the paint is missing, I guess, is where the old water fountains were. There's just a crack where it's just not finished, and then some of the siding's even coming off of it, and then there's holes in the family bathroom just going straight into the wall for whatever to get into, and inside the men's locker room as well as the women's locker room, for just installing some of the water fountains. So, I was told that they were supposed to come back and fix them, but that wasn't an agreement. So they never came back and fixed them. But that was prior to me being there.
The main thing, this all started with that air duct was the main,
Yeah,
what
it
got
looks-
this, it needs to
it
be
looks
fixed.
horrible.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
terrible and it's flaking off. And, but we decided to throw in the other work as well since they could do it.
Is this pretty much fixing a lot of the issues that you guys, the cosmetic or aesthetic things that you're seeing in there that need to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, after that, I mean, I don't really think that, and the one in the pool, that big crack, I mean, that's just supposes that things, of course, there's a lot of humidity there.
Yeah.
Getting in that wall, that's one of the major things as far as just like mold and things like that getting there, but yes, this fixes.
The only other thing I want to tackle next is the paint on the handrails and something that we can do to where when we're not wiping them down all the time and that's coming off. And I don't know, but that's the only other thing I can.
Yeah, and that
think
was
of
on the
today.
list from a long time ago, too.
Yeah, but if you just go repaint it, we're gonna be in the same situation. So I'll have to kind of dig into that. But that's the only other thing right away that,
You know, the thing about that is it may be a powder coat or something
Yeah.
like that,
yeah,
which again, provides more grip and then longer lasting.
yeah.
So it's Casca who you're wanting to work with on this?
I think they would be, both nice, great people, but for the exact same work, I just think it makes more sense, yeah, to
Okay.
go with Casca.
I make a motion that we approve Casca.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Cantrell to use Casca LLC for $6,287, seconded by Mr. Riff. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 11, discuss possible recommended council action regarding bids received for extensive cleaning of the Pryor Creek Rec Center pool from from Rec Center Aquatic Repair and Maintenance. Mayor, I don't know how you do this. Maintenance account 848465091. Bids received. Malone's Pool Service, $6,647.95. Paddock Enterprises, $9,759 even, and Sunbelt Pools, $16,300. Wow, that's a big difference.
Okay, so, Sunbelt and Malone's both, I think they've both been at our pool, but they've worked with Claremore. That's where I got their names from Mitch at Claremore Rec Center. And so they both came over. The guy from Malone's told me he's never cleaned stainless before. So he's guessing on how to clean it. He Googled what product to use on it. And he was very honest and upfront with me about it. He said this would be a first time for him. So that could be, and he only, came in at $750 for the cleaner, but it's a spray cleaner, whereas Paddock, has a more extensive process for that stainless. They kind of clean it and then they come back over it with a different product to make it shine. So I'll be honest, that one makes me a little nervous. I know it's cheaper, but he even said he's not sure what kind of shine it will have when he gets done. And then, of course, Mr. Paddock, $97.59, and then Sunbelt. I mean, he told me it would be high, but, whew, yeah, it's high. So, and I don't know why it's so high, but
Paddock's done work on the pool before.
yes, he has. Yes, he has. And he will be there. I mean, he'll incorporate it into his project that he's, already got going, and he said he can do that and still be on schedule.
So it looks like Sunbelt, it looks like they're doing an acid wash of the pool, which is the majority of the cost, so that could be.
Well, and I know, if you'll look on Paddock's, it's a light acid wash as well. And then he's also gonna clean the decking, which I don't believe is included in Sunbelt's. He's just gonna power wash the decking and clean it.
So we're getting an additional service for less money.
Jessica, I hate to ask a question
No, go ahead.
involving money.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
assume there's plenty of, this is my third meeting. I assume there's money to take care of all this.
We have money. We've been told to spend money, but
Yes, sir.
I've
There-
read in the paper about it.
yeah,
I'll
that's
make
what I
sure
hear.
there's
You have money,
there.
you have money. Yes,
Yes, sir, Mr. Holmes, the funding is in place.
Okay,
it
all
is.
right, okay.
We're having a bake sale next week. Don't quote that in the paper, Terry. All right, may I have a motion?
I make a motion that we use Paddock.
I second.
Motion made by Mr. Cantrell to use Paddock for $9,759, seconded by Ms. Kemp. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 12, discuss possible recommended council action regarding bids received for camera security system from Rec Center Repair and Maintenance Account 848455091. Bids received, Digi Security Systems, $9,484.57. Absolute Technologies, $45,007.50. And Fiber Interactive Technologies, $57,531.50.
okay.
Wow.
Quite a
All right.
difference there, Jessica.
I've done all my homework. I hope it
Okay.
comes out of my head the way it's supposed to. Okay, let's start with Digi. So we have cameras there. We have a server that's gone down, so it's not really working right now, but they've been really great to bring out a server that we're using right now, even though we still can't see it. It's recording. So with their almost $10,000 quote, what they will do is come in and install a new server. They're gonna connect all of the cameras to that server. We will get 7 new cameras, and then we'll get 1 new big camera outside for the parking lot. These all have a 3-year warranty, and so they have a 3-year warranty. They do not have facial recognition, which is one of those where, for example, this last week we had an issue where there's a protective order against someone and we got a picture of them if they were to come in and their child was there, that sort of thing. We could upload that. The system would alert us if they ever walked in the door. So it is a neat feature. It's not offered with Digi right now, but they said that is something we could do in the future if we wanted to. So that's theirs. It's basically getting the system we have now, just updating it and getting it going again. Then Absolute Technology, that is who City Hall has, I believe, right now, with Jason Goodson, correct?
I do not know.
Cheryl
I'm not sure.
Cheryl told me
So
that too,
she
yes.
verified
Yes,
that?
she verified that with me. So theirs is the $45,000. So the reason there's such a big price difference is you're talking 30 new cameras, all the wiring and the labor. I think his labor to put everything in was 20,000 of it. So that's the biggest part of that. And yes, it's going to be, it's going to be good quality. There isn't a mobile option. There isn't remote access. So you can't access this from home or anything like that. But the main price difference is that they're having to kind of, well, we would have to start over basically. That's also a 3-year warranty for that one. Fiber Interactive, this is top of the line. This is the best of the best. So you're again getting 30 new cameras. This is all iCloud, so you're never down. If you are down for one reason, you should be back up almost instantly. It's all stored on a cloud. It has a warranty. So for the $57,000, you get a five-year warranty. At the end of that 5 years, you would have to pay $16,479 more for a 10-year warranty. But during that time, everything is covered. If a camera goes down, they bring out a new one. If someone needs to come out and work on something, you don't pay a labor fee or, a service fee. It does all your software updates and all that is free, 24/7 technical support. And this one does have the facial recognition that we were talking about. So it's very nice, but it's very expensive. So it's kind of, I'm wanting to hear your feedback on which direction. It's a lot of money to go completely brand new. So I don't know.
Are we having security issues? What kind of things on a daily basis do you guys run into, like security-wise problems?
We don't really have a lot of security issues at the rec center. I know there's been an incident in the past where someone was hurt, and so they reviewed footage. We don't have a lot of theft. I was talking to Chelsea today, and she said in the year that she's been there, she's only heard of one incident where a pair of tennis shoes were stolen. So I don't know that we have a lot of issues in that sense. We have had some issues with Digi the last few years, I'll be honest, but I also think that now that we have good communication with them, I feel like we know the way to go about getting someone out. I don't know if we were always doing that the right way. So my hope would be if we did go with them that would improve. I feel like we're forging and trying to form a better relationship. So I think that might improve. I also think a lot of our problem with Digi is that the computers up front were so outdated. It was Windows 7, so it was just knocking us offline all the time and so we've got 2 new computers ordered for up there, which should solve that problem as well.
So Digi had 7 cameras and everybody else had 30. Is the 7 adequate enough to cover?
We will keep our old cameras. They're just updating 7.
So they're only updating 7, but the other ones will be sufficient?
We went through, Josh Heron and I went through and looked at every camera and reviewed which ones were a little grainy, which ones, if we needed to add any. And so we only found an issue with those 7, and then I requested one for the parking lot, a different one for the parking lot, just because we need a better, to me, that's where, and we didn't really have a good view of the parking lot. So that's where we added that big camera out there.
So other than that, Digi is meeting your needs?
Yes.
Okay. And they're capable of doing everything you need for them to do?
Yes, I would say. We won't get any of the extra, features, but, that's something we could look at down the road if we decide if we need that. Do we need that? I don't know that we need that. I don't know. It's really neat. And I've had the Fiber Interactive, I've had the demo up in my office for the last week. Super clear. You can zoom in, you can pull up Jerome's face, and then all of a sudden it shows me everywhere Jerome's been in the building, and it's kind of freaky.
I make funny faces.
Yeah, it's really freaky. But it's amazing. It's just a lot of money.
If we were putting in a brand-new system, then I think we should consider that. We have a system that has been installed. We've been using it for several years. It's not been updated.
Right.
And as the system in place, if we choose to keep that system and use that system, then there will be maintenance costs going forward with that system to update that system. So as some of those cameras are not able to do the job anymore, then there'll be maintenance on those cameras.
Right.
And
And that's probably very likely, I mean, in the next
it is very,
5 years that we will have to maybe even replace a server, because this server lasted 6 years, so, you know, but that's 3,000, and then you have your service calls, and so, you know, do you pay less up front and then just pay that as it comes, or do you pay a lot up front and then not worry about any fees for the next 5 years? So that's kind of where,
Was there anybody else that was interested in giving you a quote?
no. I called 2 other people. One, he even came and met me in my office, and then I never heard from him again. But he sells the same camera system that Digi does, so I think that might have been a conflict. And then the other one, I couldn't even get to come out.
Are you looking for any other names?
I didn't know of any other
Okay.
names. This
I
took me
just
2
was gonna
months.
tell you, because we obviously deal with it in the banking business,
Right,
and there's a group that we use, and we've bid against the one that you're looking at, and we don't use them. And part of it is because we compared apples and apples, but the price was better. So if
okay,
you decide, whatever,
okay. Is it the Avigilon camera, or is it a different camera system?
Guardtronics,
Okay, I haven't heard of them. Okay.
and I don't have an interest in them.
And you've been very happy with them?
We have.
The problem you get into though is you're gonna have to replace everything.
Right, so they're
with the new
still gonna
company.
be in that.
Digi's who they've used so that the equipment's in place, that all those cameras, how many cameras do you have right now?
We are,
27?
I think this makes us 27.
Already in place, so, which is with Digi.
So I guess that's the biggest question. Do you stay and just upgrade, or do you spend extra money to go? Because if, you know, I would assume that a brand-new company, and you know, it would fall more on the higher end, like these 2, versus the one to just upgrade.
I don't know.
I don't know.
What's your recommendation?
This is why I'm coming. I didn't recommend on the agenda because I don't know. I really, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, and we're spending a lot of money right now.
Well, I dealt with Digi when I was there, and I really had no problem with them. And we added several brand-new cameras while I was there.
You did.
But I'm tight.
I know.
I think, you know, I would be willing to go with the cheaper price as long as they were quality company, and I always found them to be that.
because there's a component of available service that we should consider. And if Digi can commit to the service component and be there when we need them to be there, they know that they will need to be there.
Well, and we've had,
And we know that they
Yeah.
need to be there.
we've had some
Right.
very heated conversations in the last month regarding past service and issues as a board member that I heard from past directors that had with them and their service. And like I said, I think it boils down to, you know, a few things. I think communication was one. I think the process has to be followed a certain way, I think. But I also know that since I bid this out, the services, I mean, they've provided, they brought a server out at no charge. They have come out a couple other times. So I feel like now, if I pick up the phone and say, hey, we really need you, I think they would be there. I do, but I don't know for certain, but I don't know.
For what it's worth, I mean, I'm not sure that I need to provide a tip one direction or the other necessarily. That's this board's responsibility. I know that I have some personal experience with Digi, some of the same experience that we've had at the rec center. And when you have a come to Jesus meeting and there are commitments that are made, you know, Josh and his organization, I think will carry out and do what they've agreed to do. Over time, that organization changed hands. That organization changed, and during that change, there was a gap in communication and a gap in quality service. I think they're past that now.
So let me ask you this question. Are we under contract?
No.
So technically, at any given time, so let's just say hypothetically, we give these guys, we go with stay with Digi, and hopefully the communication is better and the service is better and they're holding to it. If we get, in a year down the road and we're still having the same issues or servers are failing or whatever, we're then not under no contract and we have the ability to go back and rebid and start this process again.
We have the ability to place them in a position to do the right thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's an extreme amount of difference in these.
I know.
And, you never know what's gonna happen a year or two down the way, even with the administration of these companies.
Right, it's true.
I'll make a motion that we go with Digi and, kind of go from there.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Cantrell to go with Digi for the $9,484.57, seconded by Mr. Holmes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 13, Director's Report.
Okay. So I mentioned earlier, we got the new group fitness schedule out, and so we have some fun things that we're offering a little bit different, the strong class and the pop Pilates and that sort of thing. So we have the instructors all communicating with Chelsea now, so that's going really well. And in fact, they just tweaked the schedule again this week and added a couple more classes. So they're trying to get feedback from the members on what they want and give them what they want. So I'm excited about that. We have decided we're concerned about our members who are losing the pool for a month in October. And we want to make sure we offer them some alternatives since they're not going to be able to swim, especially those ladies at 8:30 and 9:30 in the morning, and then the 5:30 class in the evening. So what we've decided to do is kind of highlight and do like a wellness month in October. And so at 9:30 every morning, instead of going to water aerobics, they can come into the nutrition center or the gym, and we have speakers lined up for the month of October on Mondays and Wednesdays at 9:30. So Houston's going to do one on meal prepping. I'm going to do one on like tracking your food, but then we also have Grand Lake Mental Health, the health department. She's working on getting the heart doctor. And so we have different, Kathy, are you coming? I know she was going to talk to you about it.
I haven't.
Okay, she's supposed to be reaching out to you. We were trying to get somebody in physical therapy.
She's been
so
trying
just-
to avoid that text.
Yeah. Just-
Who was gonna?
But different people to kind of come in and just talk for 30 minutes and give them some tips or advice. And then from 10 to 10:30, we'll take them and just do some light walking and just kind of keep them in that routine of coming from 9:30 to 10:30 every morning. And then by doing it at 9:30, it also allows our enhanced fitness ladies that come in at 10, they can come in 30 minutes earlier, get that education, and then go to their class at 10. So for the evening group, they have requested a self-defense class. And so we have Casey King is coming in. It's going to be great. And he is going to do Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. for them, and we're going to teach self-defense for the month of October. So we're really excited about that. And they're really excited about that. And so we also, I don't know if you've seen, we're selling new rec center shirts, and they're almost gone. So that's been a big hit. People are excited about those. I mentioned 2 more computers. We did receive 2 more for, I believe, Jerome's office, and then Chelsea or Jesse? Chelsea. And so then we have 2 more coming from the front desk. And so then we should all be back to normal on that. Kim and Chelsea and they're renewing their personal training certifications, and I'm getting mine. So we're working on those. We're able to do that online, so we'll knock those out. I mentioned the leak in the break room wall. So we got that fixed, and we were able to add an access panel so that we can get to that now. I am gonna have someone come out and quote that floor because that tile needs to be taken up, just from years of water damage in there. Our chlorinator went out on the pool, so we had to buy a new chlorinator, but it's in and up and running. Melton's came out and did their preventative maintenance check, and we had like $4,000 worth of issues. So we're in the process of getting all that fixed, It just seems like there's always something, but I'm glad they were able to find it, and a couple of them were pretty important to take care of quickly, and then the other two they're gonna do after they get done with those. We also had a big issue with, I guess the heat and air in the pool is controlled by a computer panel. I didn't know that. And there's only one company that can come in and repair that. I don't know if you ever dealt with them, but they spent all day out there the other day trying to fix the computer panel for that unit. So we have that fixed, but I do not have a bill yet, so I'm a little nervous about that. But the pool,
$57,000.
I mean, it's a computer guy, and he was there all
Good
day.
thing we went
so.
with the 9,000 on Digi. I mean,
Now I'm a little scared. But it's okay. And then the last thing, I'm really excited about this. We just announced it today, but Midamerica Industrial Park is doing a 5K on October 24th. And so they pulled me in to help, and I told them I would if we could be a partner. So the rec center's helping, and we're gonna partner with them. So October 24th, that morning, it'll be out at the expo, and we'll walk or run, or you can ruck. We added rucking this year. And it'll go down around Google and through the park and then back. And then they'll have lots of activities. And I talked to the timing company in Tulsa, and she feels like we'll get a ton of those runners because there's nowhere for these runners to go. They're all doing virtual stuff. So I think this will be great PR for the rec center and get our name out there.
Can you shoot us an email on that when you get it all finalized?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
can
I
put it
got
on the
that.
calendar.
Yep,
I think.
I sure will.
Cool.
Are you gonna run in?
No, I'm gonna walk. I can't run.
Oh, and you get a cool long sleeve T-shirt. So there you go.
Actually, I'm gonna
Jeremy?
ride my horse.
I get one for working it.
Oh, true. You could come do the 1K. Somebody, you
The
can at
long
least do the
one.
1K.
I can run it.
There you go. Okay, just
The
a couple
1K?
things
Yeah.
we're working on. I met with the mayor and Kim Ritchie for the boys and girls contract, so we
It's
should
on my
be.
list. I was
it's
gonna
in-
ask you.
Yes, it's in Kim's hands now, and so we're just trying to be a little more specific, and then she has some things that need to be taken care of in there, so I'll probably be bringing that back to you after we have the contract done. I called a meeting with Randy Melton and Brian Moody and then Jerome and Gary to just talk about the shutdown of the pool, because I heard last time it shut down, when it went dry, it messed up a heater, and so we were able to kind of talk through the process and make sure we're all on the same page and we all know who has what part, and so I'll let him talk about the pool in just a second. But one thing that came up in that meeting is that while the pool was shut down, they were interested in trying to get the air ducts cleaned out, and then maybe some paint around the edge of the pool. So they just told me last week. So I started working on those bids, but I had the air duct guy come out today, $17,000. So that's probably not gonna happen because we can't get it through the process in time anyway. What's crazy is he didn't even look, like we don't even know if they really need to be cleaned out. But that was he was gonna bring in like 3-inch plywood and a big lift to get down into the pool and then clean all those out. So I think we're gonna have to table that since it's so much. I mean, we have to, there's no way we can get it done. So just FYI, I didn't know it would be that expensive. But I do have someone coming out Thursday
The
to
board can do that for you. I'll bring out a lift and we'll crawl up in there.
clean it out.
Go ahead.
If you'll just do the return thing, I'd be happy just so it looks better. And then the only other one, the paint guy for around the pool, he's gonna come out Thursday. So if it's reasonable and not crazy, I'll let you know, but otherwise we'll probably just have to wait on a couple of those things. But anyway, I think that's it. Do you have any other questions?
So I have one question. We haven't seen financials in a while, so is there gonna be a regular period that we would see them on a monthly basis or every quarter, or how are we gonna do that for financials?
I can provide those to you monthly, or I can provide them quarterly, whichever you would like.
I don't remember how we got them before.
Well, they were just all over the place, sporadic, so I think it'd be
Okay.
best if we just establish
Okay.
amongst the board here when we would like to see them, and that way we know and everybody's on the same page.
Do you
I'd like to
just-
see it monthly.
Monthly at
I'd
the
like to
meetings?
see it monthly.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Mayor, I know I just gave you
Can
more
do.
work, sir.
Can do.
But I think that's, if we're talking, and transparency is big, and that's obviously our goal here is to be very transparent. So if we have the ability to see those, then
Yep.
I think we have a better idea where we're at, especially when we're talking about spending a lot of money.
Yep.
You know,
Okay.
for certain things, so. And then the last thing I'd like to say is, I had the Boys and Girls Club on here, so thank you for addressing that. But the second thing is thank you for the progress and for the, you know, I was kidding about the agenda being long, but listen, there's a lot of things on this agenda that needed to be done. And I, for one, I think I speak for the board, certainly appreciate the effort that you're putting into this, the passion you have for it, the, you know, working with the Midamerica, working, you know, to partner with individuals and to promote the rec center. This is exactly what we've been looking for, and it's exactly what we need. And so, thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's exciting.
I think I want to second that too, that you like the morale and the camaraderie that you guys, you and Jerome are building, with just little things like the shirts, but that's a big thing.
It is a big,
And
yeah.
it's really cool, and I like saw someone like at an OU game with one on, I mean, you know, and like just
yeah.
cool stuff like that. So I just think you guys are doing a great job with just, even if it seems small, it's really big.
And I would echo that, Jerome, too. I didn't mean to leave you out.
Yeah.
I do have a
Thank you for-
question that I was
Okay.
thinking about the other day.
Yeah, shoot.
So initially you said something about someone was working on a grant.
Well, it's not due until, we would like to apply for that, but it's
Okay.
not due until November. I think it's November. I reached out to her to double check. It's like November 18th or something. So that's the one we were talking about for like to do the beds and all that. So yes, I reached out to her and she said, so we've kind of put that off for right now, but we are going to apply and try to get some new fun things in there. So I'd like to partner with Hope on that just because it's kind of their line of work too, but they do apply for other things, so if we can apply at the rec then it'll help both of us out, so that's still on the list. They are still handing out money. That was my first question. If we apply, can we still get money? And she said, yes, they were still handing out money, so.
I just thought that was a neat idea, and
Yeah.
I remembered us talking about it. I was thinking about it the other day.
Yeah. And the shirts for the front desk with image branding is still, it's just trying to get everybody to agree on what the
Understood.
best, so we're
Nice
still
to
working
have
through that.
options, right?
Yes, and Jasmine, Jerome hired Jasmine, what, 2 or 3 weeks ago? Yeah. And she's like our style queen. So I pulled her in this week, and Brittany and Debbie trust her, so we're gonna let her kind of narrow it down.
And you know, Image is really good about donating, you know, if you have contests and stuff like
Oh, okay.
trophies and stuff like that,
Okay.
they will step up to the plate and they will also, you know, any activities you have or that might need a sponsor or something like that.
Okay.
They're really, really good at that.
Okay,
as well.
good.
So, really, really great company to work with.
Good. Okay. I don't know, I think there was one other, I was, just when we get to the updates, he was gonna do that one.
All right, so item 14, updates and discussion regarding actions of the past few weeks and anticipated action moving forward. Pool improvements.
Nothing really too major. I talked to Paddock last Friday about just making sure that he's on board with tile guys and everything is still to date. And he'd said that he can assure me that everything is still going forward as planned. He's talked to the tile guys. They've got their tiles. They're cutting them. And then his guys are going to be breaking down the cement, you know, removing it and things like that. And then, of course, the cleaning, hopefully, if that's something that he's going to be doing, and all in a timely manner. So, you know, he's confirmed with me that from October 5th to November 6th that the job should be done. So that's really the only improvements that I have, or the only updates. I kid you. He's probably, every time he sees my number, he's like, oh my gosh. But I am on this guy like nobody's business, I can assure you. Even whenever, I'm pretty sure when I leave here, you know, he'll probably be calling me, because we communicate pretty good. So.
Good. All right, and B, operations moving forward.
Yeah, we kind of, we're back to the same numbers, and he did open up the basketball court.
Oh, yes.
So
And
that's
with
open now.
That being said, this month, there was 310 basketball passes alone.
Wow.
That's crazy. Those kids have been super excited when the basketball's open. And I did get men basketballs, because that's been a request forever since I've been there, because there's been more girl basketballs than guys. And then, of course, there's been just 33 new members this month. Now, that's not counting the people who renew their memberships, that's just new members. So member count is still going up, so it's still great.
So no issues on the total count, or you're not seeing a lot of, and then the classes, since we upped the classes and the numbers in there have been fine?
Everything's been great.
The biggest class is that enhanced fitness, and they said don't advertise that their numbers could go up because they didn't want, they were packed in there. But I talked to a couple of the instructors and everything's fine. And
Is that the early morning class?
that's like the 10 a.m. In the
What's the
group
one at
fitness.
like 5:30?
The boot camp, the extreme chaos, yeah. That's,
Those people are glutton
They're
for
crazy.
punishment. I'm telling you.
It's a great way to start the
I'm telling you. And they're all walking out
5:30
crawling.
a.m.?
Oh, yeah.
And Terry walks around, so he gets to see all the action going around up there.
It's crazy.
Chelsea was spray painting dice the other day. I was like, what are you doing? She's like, wait till you talk to my 5:30ers tomorrow. So, anyway, but yeah, classes are going great. So, and I'm excited about this month and offering some different stuff. Hopefully, the goal is to kind of retain so people aren't canceling their memberships for a month.
Right.
So we're trying, when they ask what, we give them the option, well, you can do this, or you can do that, and try to show them different parts of the building and try to get them to keep their memberships.
Have we gotten through that period of time where we didn't have the rec open and the automatic payers? How did that work?
As far as,
Okay, it was out for what, a couple of months? And during that time, the people who were automatically paying, their money was going in, I assume.
yes,
Okay,
I don't know how they.
From what I understand, they froze it, didn't they? After
I
a
don't
certain
know.
amount of time, they froze it. And then when the goal would be if they called back and said, hey, I want to restart my membership, then we'd restart. But I think there was a lot lost in translation
There
there,
was a
and a lot because of the system and what we're dealing with, which we're waiting on the city attorney to work to cancel that contract, so we can look at a new system, which is
Right.
more user-friendly. But I guess the question I would ask is, from a complaint standpoint, do we have anybody knocking on your door saying, hey, come on, do I not get my money back? Do I, any
No.
issues?
No, none that way, at all. I know, we're nervous about, once you go in and start freezing accounts and putting accounts on hold, CSI gets wacky. And so it can show it's on hold, it may still come out, or the next month when you reactivate it, it'll show it's active, and then it may not come out of their account. That's the problem we're having, is people who are now active, but it's not being withdrawn from their account for some reason.
Whenever the shutdown happened, there was thousands of people like that. We're
yeah,
just chasing
yeah.
down.
Right.
So the sooner we can get new software, the better. Because then I think we'll have a better sense of truer numbers and revenue.
Do we think that, or when is the time come up whereby, when we were closed and we had some people walk on us, and I think it was an understanding that some of them went to Anytime and did a 6-month contract. Is that time about up?
November, 1st of November.
Okay.
We have gotten several of them back,
I've
but
noticed it too.
the rest couple more that I've talked to said they're waiting till November. So I think we'll see, an increase then too.
The parking lot is getting bigger and bigger.
It is.
That's what I judged.
Yeah.
I know I'm
Sure
actually gonna
is.
have to talk to, people about their parking, because they're parking all over the place. Like, we gotta straighten it up, because it's getting full.
Why not?
It's like a frenzy.
5:30, it's busy.
Is it busy?
Oh, yes.
5:30, it's really
Yeah.
busy in the mornings now.
When I left to come here, it was packed. Yeah,
That's good.
it is good. It's great.
Any other comments from the board on operations forward? Any other concerns? Okay, again.
Mr.
thank you
Chairman, I
guys.
want to thank the board. I thank the board. I thank our administration with the rec center. Everyone's doing a great job, and it's growing, and anticipation in the community. I don't get any complaints anymore, and I'm real proud of the direction it's going. Some of those maintenance things that have been lingering for some time, some we have just discovered, some we have known about, and we're taking initiative to fix those things. So all that's just part of facility maintenance, and moving the direction with custodian. is excellent, and moving the direction with the aquatics director is excellent. That places us in a position to be who we need to be for our citizens. So, thank you all very
Yeah,
much.
absolutely, and I would like to echo my sentiments to the rest of the board as well. Thank you guys for being here tonight, thank you for your service, and thank you guys for the tremendous job you're doing. So, item 15, unforeseeable business. Hearing none, item 16, make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Riff, seconded by Mr. Cantrell. Thank you, guys, and let's go watch the debate.
Yeah. It's like a prize fight.
Is the sign-up sheet for the cookout up
Oh,
there?
oh.
Can everybody be there except you? Is he on?
What is it?
It's a sign-up sheet for the cookout. I will be competing and won't be there that day unless it's late, unless I can get away.
So, the board needs to be cognizant,
Great job.
needs to be cognizant of a quorum, okay? So just need to be
Email that.
Let me,
What?
I'll email it.
What does that mean?